How's it going, guys? It's Xbox Jared here. Since I'm getting back into Magic, I thought it would just be fun to make another Magic video about my favorite Magic cards and also my favorite strategies and abilities and shit like that. But mainly just, I guess, my favorite cards because I'm one of those guys where I'm real picky and I don't even buy a lot of packs. You know, almost every Magic player that I know, anyways, they buy the fucking booster packs. I buy singles. I always bought singles. I mean, occasionally I would buy packs. Sometimes I buy these starter kits at Target because they're real cheap and they would have like 4 or 5 packs in there. But most of the time I just buy fucking singles. So I've been playing Magic since 1997. So a lot has changed, but a lot of the stuff is, I would say, pretty similar too. That's the cool thing about Magic is they never really changed their formula that much, you know, enough to where they kind of like, you know, I guess it became something else. It's always been, you know, roughly the same thing, which I like. But so for me, my first decks were Tempest and Stronghold, and also one called Ice Age, which I don't remember hardly anything from. But a lot of my favorite cards are from that because I'm just very nostalgic. You know, the funny thing is, I don't even remember a lot of cards from there because I gave all my old shit away, which I do kind of regret, but not really because I helped someone else, you know, learn to play Magic. But yeah, I mean, it was like the real simple shit. That was my favorite stuff that you didn't have to, you know, take all day just to get through one turn with. I loved all like the creatures that didn't even have abilities or maybe just like flying. I thought those were really cool because it was just so simple. And plus they're cheap to play. And you don't see a lot of, you hardly ever see a creature these days without any sort of ability. But back in the old school, a lot of creatures, they didn't have any abilities at all. Or like I said, you know, maybe just like flying or something like that. But there was, you know, there was shit like First Strike. What else was there? God, back in the old school, there weren't that many abilities. There was First Strike, Flying. There were walls. I remember I liked having walls. I thought that was cool. There was this one card I really loved called Blistering Barrier. It was this red wall. I just remember I really loved the artwork, and I loved the little what's it called, the flavor text, like the little saying at the bottom of the card. It's like a little, it's like a this weird, creepy, like little fucking like riddle. I live without eyes. I live without, what is it? Something. What am I? I don't know. I just really liked that card. I thought it was cool. Um, Also, being the young, hormonal young man that I was, I loved cards that had boobies on them. Any sort of card with boobies, even if it was like a fat, nasty troll with boobs, I liked. So there's another fun fact about me. I liked booby cards, but I think pretty much anyone my age did. Um, but yeah, aside from the old shit, and I didn't really cover everything from the old school that I like a lot, but um, I will say one more thing that I did like though was I do remember one thing from Ice Age. There were these redirect damage cards. I'm pretty sure that was Ice Age anyways, where you could have damage redirected to your other creatures so that it would be like a little math game of evening it out so no one dies. I always thought that was pretty cool. Uh, but I'll tell you guys my favorite all-time card. One of my favorite all-time cards is a card called Pacifism. It's a very simple yet very effective card that pisses a lot of people off. Basically, enchanted creature cannot block or attack for only 2 mana. It's a white card, one of any color, and a plains. And oh man, I swear I've used that card in so many different decks. Pacifism probably has to be my all-time favorite card. Plus, there is a lot of nostalgia. That is an old card. Pacifism is just, it's one of those douchey cards, you know. And I'll admit, me and one of my old friends, Kevin, this guy I used to play Magic with, we loved cards like that. They're real douchey cards, man. Fucking douchey cards, man. Pacifism is like one of the top 10 douchiest of all cards that'll piss people off. But oh yeah, there's this also. I'm not a huge fan of the zombie cards, but there is one zombie I do like. Um, I wish I could remember the name of this card. But basically, like, what set was it from even? I don't even remember. But your creatures, like, you could turn creature damage into mill. Like, it was this weird ass card where, like, all of the like, it was a zombie token card, but like their damage, instead of actual damage, it would be like mill. Like, if I hit you for 2 damage, you'd have to mill 2 cards. It's a really weird zombie card. I love that one a lot. But I actually did love zombie cards. I mean, they were fun. You know how it was, typical black sacrifice to gain kind of shit. It was a lot of fun, I will admit, even though everyone played them at tournaments and it got really old. Same with the soldier decks. That's one thing I never got into, were like the really, really fucking. Actually, I would say for the most part, I never got into token decks. I didn't like the monotony of it, and shit like that. But yeah, I love zombie cards. Those were cool. Also, stuff like werewolves were cool. If I had any favorites, and vampire, of course, that shit was cool. I never really played that much black. Like, compared to other people, I never really played like that much. I had some, but mostly it was just other colors. But there was one other thing I was gonna say. Oh yeah, I know you guys may think I'm gonna name some planeswalkers on here, but believe it or not, I've never owned more than 1 or 2 planeswalkers. I've never owned any more than like 2. I just don't care for them. Plus, I don't like how they're so goddamn overpriced. I think that's a gimmick. I think rares in themselves are a gimmick. But, hey, that's just my own opinion. I think commons can be just as effective. It's all about how you use them, really. But, yeah, I never really got into them, so I'm sorry that this list doesn't contain any of those. But, yeah, anyways, guys. Oh, there was one other card I can think of that I really loved growing up in the old school. It was a card called Clone, which has actually been remastered a lot. So some of you guys may know of it. Basically, it's one of those douchey cards where you can make a clone of any sort of creature on the battlefield. It has the exact same abilities, everything. So just boom, clone that shit. I forgot how much mana it is, but it's really not that much. I think it's only like 3 mana, if I'm not mistaken, to clone any sort of creature on the fucking battlefield. 3 or 4 mana, I don't really remember. But that's not bad. That's really not bad. Blue, I swear blue is one of the fucking douchiest of all colors. Because you got those counter spells. Counter spells are fun, man. I never had a whole lot of decks with counter spells, but I do think they're a lot of fucking fun. I never played a whole lot of blue, I'll admit. But I remember Clone was one card that I really did love. Also, I really love Merfolks. I had a Merfolk deck not too long ago, maybe 4 or 5 years ago, that I really loved. Merfolks are like these weird sea creatures, if you don't know. That was the only like blue color I remember I played a lot of, was a Merfolk deck. They're fun and simple. Like I was saying, they're just simple cards. They don't take forever to use. I like Merfolks. I think they're cool. I don't know. But yeah, as far as like other set strategies, I've never even owned a lot of different set strategy decks, like with all the same creatures that work together. But with that said, there is one, and I'm going to go ahead and name that off to you guys. That's Angels. I love Angel cards. I adore Angels. I think they're the best. The reason is because they help out your entire battlefield. They don't just help out other Angels. All of their different abilities help everyone out. They're the coolest people because, they're not selfish. They don't only help out their own people. I would say just about every single, I mean, minus 1 or 2, just about every other, set creature deck, they only help themselves. But with Angels, they fucking help out everyone. That's just what's so great about White, is that it's just, you're so protected with White because of the life gain and shit like that. And I would have to say some of my favorite cards probably were White. I love life gain cards, where it's just like easy life gain. Like there's this one card where you can like gain 6 life, just one card, and it was only like 3 mana. That was one of my favorite cards. I like that one a lot. There's this other white card. I don't remember exactly what it did. I like that too, but Yeah, man, I love white. White's one of my favorite colors. With green, like green is really cool. There's a lot of really big, beefy creature cards, but I never really played a lot of the huge, beefy creature cards. I always felt safer just with like smaller shit. You know what I mean? You don't have to wait forever to get a bunch of mana. And a lot I can say is a lot of people who play green, they're lucky that what is it that Armageddon was it? Yeah, Armageddon was oh my god, that was a card that you could destroy a green deck with because Armageddon destroys all land. So imagine a green player, they finally get all their land, a ton of land to play a big card. When you wipe all that shit off, they're screwed, man. They are so screwed. And it sucks that that card got banned. But that brings me to another favorite, though, that I do love is Day of Judgment. But, fun fact, before Day of Judgment, it was called Wrath of God. Wrath of God was such a douchey card, like I was saying. It's destroy all creatures. But it's not, see, that's the thing, is it includes your creatures, too. So it's one of those cards where you're taking 1, 2 for the team or whatever. But yeah, it's such a fun card. I don't know why I thought that card was so fun. I think it's because I felt like a badass. Like, yeah, look at me, destroy all creatures. Yeah. But a lot of times it would hurt me more than the other person. I think I just felt like a badass playing it. But yeah, that's another old schooler card. A lot of people know about is Day of Judgment. Or if you're real old school, Wrath of God. That's what it was originally called. But yeah, guys, those are pretty much my favorite cards, man. I left out a few things, from other colors. Like, I didn't touch much on fucking, well, I said green. I was talking about blue. I don't play much black. But with white, I would say the color I played more so than anything probably was white. But with that said, I like all colors. I like all stuff, different shit. But one thing I'm going to end with is this was actually one of my favorite strategies, guys. Even though I didn't talk a lot about strategies in this fucking video, there was one thing that I loved. It was called poison decks, poison cards. So with poison cards, it was basically this, like, it was damage, but it wasn't HP damage. It was a different kind of damage. And if you got hit with 10 poison points, I think they call them, or poison hits or whatever, then you lose the game. So it was really cool because that's all you needed was 10 poison damage and you could win the game. And there were a lot of really cool poison decks out there. I had so much fun with those. So that was definitely one worth mentioning as well. Cards that I can remember from poison decks, I honestly can't remember a whole lot, to be honest with you guys. But there was this one fucking green card. It was a beast. It was like a 5/6. So imagine, having a 5/6. All it would take is 2 different attacks and you'd win the game. That is if they couldn't block with anything. But a lot of fun. I enjoyed the fuck out of that shit. I also think Eldrazi cards are really cool, even though a lot of them are overpriced. But that's one thing I never got into. But like huge, huge behemoth creatures, like 15/15. What's that one card? I don't remember the name. They recently made another Eldrazi deck that's worth checking out. I never bought any of the cards, but I played a guy who was running them, and it's pretty fucking sweet. So, anyways, guys, that's just my video of my favorite cards, favorite strategies. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you later. Peace.